Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, I would like to talk about spiritual hygiene and what it means. We are familiar with hygiene in other aspects of our life. When you say the word hygiene, the first thing that probably comes to most of our minds is bodily hygiene. The dog wants to get out. I'm sorry. Acting up. Is the bodily hygiene, the cleanliness. When we think about hygiene as something that has been progressed over time, and now that cleanliness, that washing of your body and that tending to your body, the putting the moisturizer on your face, those are all of hygienic things that we do. Hygiene for our teeth, we go to the dental hygienist. There are a lot of different ways that we can think about hygiene, but I think a big way that we don't think about and that really isn't brought to the forefront of anything is the hygiene of our spirit. And I also want to extend it even further into the hygiene of our mind and the hygiene of our heart, which, we are one. We are mind, body, and soul. Everything is connected. So with so much focus on the hygiene of our bodies, sometimes our mind and our spirits can kind of be left behind. But the hygiene of both our mind and our spirits is incredibly important, and it goes towards that trifecta of our mind, body, and soul, and tending to that, and that constant tending to it. Now, hygiene of your mind and soul kind of works the same way as the hygiene of your body. So you don't just hygiene, just don't just hygiene your body. You don't just wash your body once and be like, I'm done forever. I never have to wash my body again. No, it's a pretty frequent process. And the reason for that is because we are out in the world. We are touching dirt. We are encountering germs. We're eating food and spilling food on us, different things. Well, it's the same concept that goes for your spiritual and mental hygiene. It is a kind of constant tending, and it needs to be pretty much as frequent as you clean your body. You need to clean your mind and you need to clean your soul. So let's talk about your mind and mental hygiene. A big part of mental hygiene is checking in with your mental state. How am I feeling? What is going on in my mind? What have my thoughts been like? Where has my mind been? Has my mind been in the gutter? Has it been in the clouds? Where is it? Where is it right now? Where is it going? How is my mental health? Am I feeling depressed at all? Have I been feeling anxious at all? What are the feelings that I have been having? And feelings are kind of tied into both your mental and emotional body, and we'll just categorize your emotions in with your mental body right now. How have I been feeling? Sometimes we really need to ask ourselves, and a practice that can really help with this is journaling and prompted journaling. Sometimes journaling, we think that it's like more of a diary, but prompted journaling can help to kind of point out a lot of those answers that you are seeking. How have I been feeling lately? Or I have been feeling anxious. Where is this anxiousness coming from? Ask yourself. Ask yourself these questions and allow yourself to flow in that writing. Allow those words to just flow out naturally. Don't think about it as you're writing it. Just allow it to flow and then go back and reread it. Because a lot of times when we release that resistance of thinking about things and wanting to process things as they're coming out, it makes it more difficult. So if we just allow our feelings to come out via journaling, and then we we reread it, it is able to give us a lot more insight than if we were to try and process it as it were to come out. So I encourage you to do that, and you can do it anytime. It doesn't have to be a regular practice. Journaling is a wonderful regular practice, but if it's not something that fits in with you, that's okay. But it can be used as part of your spiritual hygiene, and it can be used as a kind of compass to point you in the direction of where your feelings really are right now, where your mind is right now, what the mental state of yourself is. And then you can go from there. And there are a lot of different things that you can do for mental hygiene. Therapy. Therapy is a wonderful mental hygiene because now you have a sounding board. Now you have someone that says, I hear you saying this. Is this true? What is this? And that weekly ritual of being able to speak candidly to someone who is there just for you and can't tell anyone in a gossipy way. Like, excuse me, obviously there are, if you say you're going to hurt yourself or hurt someone else, they legally have to tell someone. But if you're just speaking candidly and venting, it's a safe space. So therapy is a really wonderful one. Journaling obviously is another one. Self-care, and self-care in a way of doing something that is purely for your pleasure. Something you can be like, okay, self-care is taking a shower and washing your face. Like, no, that's more bodily hygiene. But taking a bath with maybe a nice scented bath bomb, some Epsom salts maybe, those things, that is kind of purely for pleasure. Like, obviously there are benefits, and one of the benefits is the cleansing of the mind, and you can also tie something like bathing into cleansing of the spirit. If you set the intention before you get into the bath that you intend for this bath to draw out any energies that may be within you that aren't serving you, and to have them be washed down the drain when you empty the bathtub, that is a very wonderful spiritually cleansing thing as well. So think about what the self-care for your mental state and stress relieving things go hand in hand. They are the same. So if you think about what helps you to relieve stress, is it going to lunch with a friend and someone that makes you laugh, watching a comedy, getting out in nature? All of these things are going to help your mental hygiene, and it is very important. And it is important to not just wait until you are super stressed out and be like, I have to relieve that stress. If you're able to do some of these things on a regular basis with the intention of it being mental hygiene, then you're able to then kind of chunk down the stress, and the stress will never feel overwhelming if you continue to tend to your mental hygiene. You're then not allowing that stress to build up. It's kind of like washing your car. Is your car going to be dirty if you wash it on a weekly basis or a yearly basis? If you wait an entire year to wash your car, isn't it going to be really built up? You might have some things that are kind of hard to get out of the paint of your car, and you have to maybe scrub a little bit harder, maybe go through a second car wash, when if you were to do maybe a weekly or bi-weekly car wash, the buildup on the outside of your car is never going to get that bad. It is the same thing for stress and your mental state. So those are a few things that you can be doing to tend to your mental hygiene. The biggest thing you can do is just to bring your awareness to the fact that you need to tend to your mental hygiene. And so let's move in to your spirit. Hygiene of the spirit, spiritual hygiene, is also something that is just as important as your mental or body hygiene. And there are a few ways you can tend to your spiritual hygiene. One of the best ways is to clear your energy, and I go more specific into this in my Shield Your Energy video, so I would recommend that you watch that. But clearing your energy on at least a daily basis is so important, because especially when you are a spiritually awakened person, you become more sensitive to energies. So if maybe like an energy gets stuck to you or you picked it up, when you become more spiritual, you become more sensitive. So that energy might affect you a little bit more than it had before. Or if you are, say you go out with a group of friends and it turns into a gossip fest, or it becomes pretty negative in a way that you're not wanting to partake in anymore, but maybe before it was something that you liked, you might find that that situation might weigh you down a little bit. You would be feeling differently about that situation as you become more sensitive to energy. So going through a ritual of cleansing your spirit, I like to do this in a way of, I imagine like a shower head that releases like divine light, divine cleansing light, and it cleanses my entire spirit. And then I imagine my grounding cord becoming like a vacuum and just having that suction, so it's encouraging and sucking down all of the cleansed energy that is moving throughout my spirit, and then going down and being returned to the earth. Because remember, you don't want to feel too negative about, be like, oh, all these awful negative energies, get them away from me. No, it is more just an energy that does not serve you. So let's not demonize it too much. We want to return it to the earth, because that is where the energy wants to be. Remember, we are nature, Mother Nature. So nature is our mother. So the mother wants to take on anything that is not serving you, because the earth is so massive that it can take on those energies and return them to their natural state of coherence and divinity. So that is how I like to cleanse my spirit, and there are different ways, other ways that you can also cleanse your spirit. Earthing is amazing for cleansing and rebalancing and recentering. And so getting the skin of your feet onto the earth. And I say that because you want to be barefoot. You don't want to be in sandals or socks or whatever. Not that you would walk in the dirt on socks, but in socks, but whatever. And actually, earthing has physical qualities as well. It is the best way, and this is science, you can look it up, it is the best way to rebalance your electromagnetic field that could be possibly thrown off by all of the electronics around us, because we have electromagnetic fields. I don't know exactly like how it works. I'm not like too into the science. I'm more into the spiritual part of it, because getting your feet onto the earth allows you to connect directly. Like I just said, they call it Mother Earth for a reason. It's because we are the children of the earth. Humans come from nature. We are nature. The earth is our mother. So when we put our feet directly onto the earth without the egoic man-made things like shoes, like houses, like asphalt, when we get our feet, it is like we are plugging in. It is like it's like plugging your cell phone in to the charger. It's like we get charged up. We get filled up to 100%. We get rebalanced, and it is very, very therapeutic for your spirit. It is wonderful for a connecting practice. And being connected, having that connectivity is what is going to help us pretty much in every aspect. Like, connection is, I don't want to say it's like the secret to life, but it kind of is. Recognizing that connection and feeling that connection, really embodying that connection to everything, to nature, is extremely cleansing and rebalancing. It is stress relieving, so doing something as simple as just walking around on the earth for 10 to 15 minutes, maybe a couple times a week, if you could do it every day, maybe once a month, whenever you can do it, is amazing for your spiritual hygiene, in addition to all the other benefits that it has. Another way that you can pay attention to your spiritual hygiene, or cleanse your spirit, there are lots of different rituals. You could go to an energetic healer with the intention and ask to be rebalanced and to cleanse your aura and to cleanse your your entire energetic field, cleanse your chakras. And there are a lot of energy work things that you can also do at home. I personally really like Jeffrey Allen. He is an amazing energy healer and spiritual teacher, and he has some really specific ways that you can cleanse your aura and cleanse your spirit. And I highly recommend that you check his content out. I really like him. I discovered him. I bought one of his courses from Mind Valley called Duality, and it was honestly a life-changing course for me spiritually. So you don't be afraid to kind of seek some things out, and don't undermine your power. One of the biggest things that I love about Jeffrey Allen is Jeffrey Allen teaches you how to do these things. He is not saying, you need to go into the jungles of Costa Rica and go find a shaman and do the ayahuasca. He says, no, like, you have the power within you to do all this energy work, and every single person on this planet can be an energy worker, because we are all energy. And I just love that, because power comes from within. Everything comes from within us. So it only makes sense that we would be able to do the energetic work on ourselves that another person could do. And I'm not trying to negate someone else's experience or energy workers at all. I love them and I think that it is wonderful. However, if that is not something that you have access to, I just don't want you to despair, because you can do it yourself. So that is our message for today, all about hygiene of the mind and hygiene of the spirit. And I just really felt called to talk about this because it is very, very important, because we are going through a time of transition, which means that a lot of the things internally are breaking down and being released, which can kind of create chaos within the body, which is kind of what we're seeing, because we're seeing a lot of chaos in our outer world, which means that there is a lot of chaos going on in our inner world. And those hygiene practices of your mental hygiene and your spiritual hygiene are so important right now to help keep those energy moving. Remember, energy wants to keep moving. Stagnant energy is where issues occur. So you want to just keep it moving, keep it flowing, keep it cleansing, and, keep it clean. Keep your spirit clean. Keep your mind clean as best as you can. And remember, just try not to let it build up. Try and incorporate some practices that you feel called to incorporate to tend to your hygiene of the mind and of the spirit. Because just like, the dirt on your car, it will build up. And we don't want that. It is much easier if you do a daily or weekly or every other day kind of ritual to keep it clean, rather than waiting until you feel really pressured and you feel like you're going to break and then you need to do something. So that is how we are going to move through these times with more ease and grace. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Anne, and I hope to see you next time.